Morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How's it going for you?
It's going. I can't complain. What about yourself?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good. First of all, I'm pretty excited to hear. How's the launch of the app going? What are the strategies or the things that you're doing so far? And what's the response as of now? The feedback that you've got from users?
Glad you asked because I did print out a little feedback sheet for them because it was about 20 people that came, and they were saying that basically some of the events won't allow you to sign up. It was typos and slow responses.
Okay.
The event description was missing, like they were trying to make an event. It would freeze and delay. It was issues with the ticket tab. And then the verification code, again, we're still not sending from GoPoco Loco, we're sending from Daniel.
Okay.
And then the payment thing. And they were trying to figure out, was it a way to search based off of location, which that wasn't in there.
Okay.
Is it a private setting for events? Could it be just private, or do all of them have to be public?
Okay. Yep. Gotcha. Sure. So, do you have any other feedback as well, or so far this is the feedback?
That was all of it. Yeah.
Okay, sure. So, let's say, after this meeting, you can, share this, document with me as well, so that, of course, I can communicate that to my team as well. Moreover, most importantly, what I did was, let me ask you this. So, there was an email that was regarding those, some of the changes that you had. And you sent another document that was kind of a user notes document, right? Or kind of a notes document where you shared that what are the things, let's say, in terms of any sort of feedback. So, are some of the pointers, somewhat aligned to it, the one that you just mentioned?
Yes, they are. So basically, I know I did my own testing of the app, and then I got some people to do some testing of it as well to see if they can find something different that I didn't notice. So some of them are probably what I had sent you already. Okay. And they just recapped it basically. I just wanted to see on different brand because I got people that was using iPhone and then Android too. So.
Okay. Gotcha. Sure. So what we're gonna do is let's say those feedback, then let's say overlap. We're gonna first remove that, and we're gonna add the new ones into the existing document that I'm gonna screen share in this meeting. So what our team did was this is the reason that we took some time because again we were compiling this document and we believe that it was really important for us to compile this document as best as it could, and we are not leaving any of the point behind, right? Because again, it's super important to focus on each and every point that you have mentioned, right? To at least have that in a compound document so that we can keep it, and not just we, especially you can keep a track of it. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to also share these two one is an Excel sheet and the other one is a document. I'm going to share that with you as well after the meeting, and so that you're going to review that as well. What I'm going to do is, because again I'm sure that I'm going to do a skim through of that document so you can have an idea. So let me know when you can see my screen. So can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Awesome. Sure. So this is the document, right? So this is a kind of a, you can say, a versus kind of document where we have compiled we are comparing the feedback, and we are comparing this to the scope of our document. So one important thing that we need to consider is that we have divided this in two sections, right? One is one consists of those pointers, in this document where it is divided into two parts. One part consists of those pointers that are included in the scope of work and are changes that are need to be done. And the other part have those pointers which were not included in the scope of work and which were not agreed upon, right? So it comprises those two parts. So of course, we're gonna also talk about later on that what to do with both of them, and first we're gonna discuss the strategy to move forward as well. Sounds good?
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, so this is executive summary, right? So this document, as I said earlier, that presents a detailed reconciliation of the original scope of work for the GoPoco app and the involving client feedback, we received for delivery, the post delivery, and it includes a clear classification of fixes, change requests, and a core scope deviation. It's mostly talking about the other part of the second part of the scope of work. And the report aims to mutually for mutual clarity on what we must have delivered under the original agreement and what requires additional discussion, estimation, and approval. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is document again. It's a pretty long document. I would say it's about 90 pages, right? So I'm gonna send it to you so that you can review it in detail. So I'm gonna skim through it, so that you can have an idea, right? So there are, these initial scope pointers, right? The original scope of work defined three major roles: user, attendees, vendors, event hosts, and admin. The app was conceptualized as a hybrid between a event discovery platform and a booking system, where both users and vendor could participate in events. So user pictures, which have which envision as event attendees will interact with the app as the following ways: authentication and profile. It can only be sign up and log in via phone number and social media. Ability to create and manage a personal profile. Manage personal settings, including change password, enable and disable notification. Let's say ad mob not showing, ads are not visible or either user or vendor side. So the issue is highlighted in one form, and the description is here on the other one. Then we have the comparison report for initial scope of work versus your feedback, right? So it has everything in detail that is. There are different columns, right? So first of all, it is divided into four sections. First of all, feature and functionality. And then there's a question that is it included in the original scope of work document, right? Then then there is your expectation point that hey, it needs to be like this, and then there's the classification, fix in the scope, fix branding, fix so change order. So it is characterized in that way. So just to give you an idea, that those pointers that are included in the scope of work and those kind of fixes that are, it wouldn't be any problem for them to get completed or get fixed. But the problem is, let's say all the pointers that are included in that are considered as change requests. So those need to be first reviewed, because the thing is, those were not agreed upon the initial or the original scope of work that was approved from your end. So which is why we need to figure out a way to do that, right? So first we're gonna talk about that later on. So this is detailed. You can review that in detail. It has different fixed branding. So by the way, fixed branding and fixed bug, these part are also included in the scope of work, so they can be done pretty easily. Majorly that would require a consideration or a change request. Any part that says change request, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, areas requiring clarification and scope renegotiation. So there are different vendor rule region that is required. Then there's client feedback, and then there will be impact. So it's a very important part, right? So if you talk about for the vendor role, right? So vendors were primary event creators and hosts responsible for creating public events, setting pricing tickets, and managing bookings. Your feedback is that vendors are now service providers offering specialized services, for example, photography, catering, DJ, and receiving bookings from users who create events. So the impact of that is that this represents a complete reversal of the vendor role, because before that, it is different, right? So it will affect the UI UX design. It will impact the data structure, no longer event based, and the business logic as well, from hosting to a service marketplace. Then we have admin tracking and metrics, and booking flow logic. Then there's a recommendation that this is a core scope deviation, not a routine change request, right? So it should be treated as a major redefinition of the platform's concept, because again, this is actually changing the concept of the platform, right? The actual ethos or core of it, and it will require your approval. Let's say if you opt in for that. And then we will be, of course, sharing that timeline, and let's say if there is any sort of a cost adjustment for not just that, for anything that is classified as change request, right?
Yeah. So on that one, can you go back up so I can read that again? Because the vendors, the vendors were not supposed to be event creators. They can create events.
Mm-hmm.
But they were supposed to be eligible for the users to get on there and book them. Mm-hmm. So I don't know where the misconception was in the process of that, but that's how it's supposed to be. And vendors are supposed to be able to list what they do. Mm-hmm. If they're a photographer, then the user get on there and book the photographer. And they could create a whole event through that process. But I was saying vendors can create events. If they want to host their own event, that shouldn't be no problem, especially when they're paying to be on the app. But I guess we'll reconsider talking about that whenever we get to that point.
Yeah, sure. So you see, the thing is, again, what I'm saying is, again, we're not talking about, let's say, again, I would love for you to again give it a full read, so that of course because the thing is, when you do a full read of this document, so that you can have a better clarity of and you will link different points with each other, and then you can write down all the questions that you have, and then we can have a discussions on that, so we can have a course, a good way forward. Sounds good?
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, moving forward, we have, say for the, AdMob integration, that it is, what was in the original scope, what is your feedback, and what will be its impact. And then there's a recommendation, same here, and then we talk about dynamic category management, same, client feedback, original scope, and the impact of that. And then same for the event creation. And then we have key classification adjustment other than that. So these are the things. Yeah, sure.
Can you go back up to the AdMob?
Okay, just give me a sec. Yeah, this one. Yeah. Okay. Are you talking about this one?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So where are we at on that? Have any of it been worked on?
Okay. See, the thing is, again, there is a different kind of request that you have, that is on a AdMob. So again, if I give a read for you, AdMob was referenced briefly as a monetization tool, implying a simple integration for ads. So what your feedback is, ads are not showing the app. Technical issue, it can be figured out, no problem. And it requires a full analytics tracking, impressions, clicks, earnings inside the admin dashboard. So the thing is, the expectation of full ad performance management system within the admin panel was never defined. So the thing is, this can be first solved, because again, team is working on that. But to have a full kind of a ad performance management system, this is not included in the current scope, and which is why, of course, it needs to be considered as a change request. So,
okay, I have a question. Because I didn't ask for the AdMob in there. I said, we can wait till next time, till a better time. But you guys suggested that I go ahead and get the AdMob. Why wasn't that something you guys told me that was going to be needed? That I'm going to need that. I'm thinking that once I get the AdMob, all of that is included. Now it seemed like it's something more that I have to pay for.
Okay, see, see, the thing is, what we usually do is, for most of the app that we integrate AdMob, most of the clients are not required this kind of a detailed kind of a metrics where they can have this kind of a management system, and that is a custom management system, right? The thing is, if they need to do it, that is a separate thing, right? Because again, the thing is, the amount that we took for when you opted for AdMob, it was low because it was just for the AdMob integration. But if there is a separate kind of a platform which needs this kind of detailed metrics and kind of these kind of performance management kind of a system, then of course it will require a more amount of work and a separate kind of work that it would need to do specifically other than AdMob integration. You know what I'm saying? Which is why, let's say if that was the case, then of course it would probably would have cost you way more back then, right? And at least for sure more than that what you actually paid for. So which is why it was not discussed. But let's say if in any of the scenario, let's say if there is any specific request that is made by the client, we make sure that to tell them, hey, if you need to do that specifically, then the thing is, you know what? There will be these extra amount of work, these extra amount of hours that will require for our team to work on that, right? Because again, the thing is, the team here, they work on an hourly basis, right? For all of the work, right? So we need to assign different resources for different tasks, and of course, when they're being paid on an hourly basis, so first we have to manage our costs, right? Because again, and nothing can be done for free. So this is why it happens usually. But again, see, the thing is, again, we're going to talk about those points in detail. You can give it a complete read, and we can of course hop in another meeting. So in which we can have we can discuss about all of those things in detail. Right?
Okay, so how would I even know how much revenue I gain from the AdMob without having that? How?
Okay, so what I believe is that the thing is, for an AdMob, so there will be the AdMob account itself will have these kind of metrics for you as well, right? So from there, you can track these kind of metrics that, the amount of, let's say, the earnings that you made and stuff of that sort. The thing that you requested is you needed specifically that kind of a dashboard in the admin. Right? In the
so I have a question about the admin too. Where do I log in for the admin information? To know how many people have downloaded the app, all of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the admin part is being developed. So first, it is in the scope of work, so you don't have to worry about that. So we kind of, made the admin part. It is not going to take that much of a time when we're gonna, make that, because right now we're focused on the subscription part that I told you last time, right? To make it work properly, and we are secondly working on the integration and finalizing because most of the integration is already being done of the AdMob, right? Just finalizing it, that is up and running. So admin part, so you already have kind of an admin dashboard where you can see these kind of metrics.
So shouldn't the AdMob actually be in the admin feature?
It usually doesn't. The reason behind that is because the thing is, AdMob is a product of Google, right? And we are integrating it, right? So we cannot have this. The only thing we can do is we can integrate both of them, but we cannot have those kind of metrics and analytics that AdMob would have in our dashboard. If we need to do so, then we need to develop and design a custom kind of a dashboard, especially for that AdMob section. You know what I'm saying? This is the reason behind that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Can we move forward?
Go ahead.
Sure. Okay. So then there will be recommendation. Then we, we have discussed this demand query and event creation. I guess we have discussed that as well. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay. There is another, document that I need to show you so that it will help you to, because again, it's a